Hello everybody, and settle down please. So, Saturday afternoon beckons, and what a gathering we will have here at the Etzebeth Stadium. The atmosphere is sure to be crackling, like a bushfire in the Karoo. And why? Well, the Springboks are back in town. Big men, fast men, men with hearts as big as buckets. It'll be a titanic test match against an Irish side, showing greater confidence and a return to their best. So, let's have a look at the 23 selected by Rassie Erasmus to do battle against the Irish and see how we can celebrate them with a world's first wine pairing where we liken the Springboks to specific Cape-based wines and recognise the world-class achievements of both. Oh, there's sure to be much heated debate about these wine pairings, I'll tell you, in the pubs of Donnybrook and Ballsbridge, and as well, no doubt, in the wine bars along Dorpstraat and Stellenbosch come Saturday night. But first, let's get to the front row. Loosehead prop, Boan Venter, a man of significant circumference. We have paired him with the Hartenberg Gravel Hill Shiraz. Why? Well, the name says it all, doesn't it? Gravel Hill, because that is exactly where Boan spends his Saturday afternoons, face down in the gravel and shoving the opposition backwards into the middle of next week. And moving on to Hooker, the man with a chest measurement that rivals a whiskey barrel, Malcolm Marx. We have paired him with the legendary Saudi family Columella. Why? Well, because this wine is the ultimate hybrid. It's a blend of Syrah, Mourvedre and half a dozen other grapes, all working together in terrifying harmony. And that is Malcolm to a T. He is part front rower, part open side flanker and part runaway bulldozer. He's been nominated for World Player of the Year in 2025, and it's a surprise to absolutely no one. And at tight head, we have Thomas du Toit. Now, this lad was born when meat was cheap. He's known as the Tank, and at 130 kilograms of pure determination, it's easy to see why. He loves the dark, murky business of the scrummage. He, of course, gets paired with the Meerlust Cabernet Sauvignon, a classic powerhouse, structured and built to last, just like Thomas. Now we head into the engine room. And now, look up, look way up. It's the Tower of Terror. The man who eats loose forwards for breakfast and picks his teeth with a goalpost. Ibn Etzebeth. We have paired him with the Rainbow's End Cabernet Sauvignon. Why? Well, usually at the end of a rainbow you expect to find a pot of gold and a little leprechaun. But if you're an Irishman running down the channel at this Rainbow's End, you won't find a pot of gold, you'll find 120 kilograms of pure, angry granite waiting to bury in the turf. This wine comes from the Banghook Valley, and bang is exactly the noise Ibn makes when he hits the defensive line. And his locking partner at the Aviva will be Ruan Norkia. Truly the workhorse, he'll surely be galloping around the paddock all day. He's ideally paired with the Allied Vineyards Fire by Night Chenin because it's pure high energy and all about tireless effort, just like Ruan. And moving along to the loose forwards, yes, the skipper at number 6, the main man, the gentleman warrior himself, Sia Kolisi, a man who leads with his chin up, his heart on his sleeve and the nation on his shoulders. We have paired him with the Damascene Cabernet Franc. Why? Because this wine is the absolute definition of an iron fist and a velvet glove. Like Sia, it is incredibly charming and polite when it shakes your hand before the game, full of perfume and elegance, but the moment the whistle blows, it tackles you into the middle of next week. Cabernet Franc is the daddy of the Cabernet family, the natural leader of the cellar. And goodness gracious, does Sia lead from the front. He's in the thick of the porridge, smiling at the referee while pinching the ball from under the nose of an opponent. And then on to the blind side of the scrum, where we have the man with the engine of a Land Rover and the legs of a giraffe, the Malmesbury missile, Peter Steph du Toit, nominee for World Player of the Year and thoroughly deserved. We have paired him with Restless River's Main Road and Dignity. Why? Well, the name Restless sums him up perfectly. Goodness gracious me, the man simply cannot sit still. He covers every blade of grass, tackles the goalpost, chases the touchline and carries the water bottles all at the same time. And as for the main road, well, he covers more tarmac in 80 minutes than a long-distance lorry driver on a double shift. This is cool climate Cabernet known for its incredible length, and That is the key. Just like Peter Steff, this wine has a finish that goes on and on and on long after the opposition has run out of puff. And then to the back of the scrum at number 8, we've got Jasper Wiese, a human wrecking ball. Look, I'm no hod carrier myself, but I'd be laying bricks if he was running at me. We have paired him with the heavyweight champion of the Cape, the Knonko Pinotage. Much like Jasper picking up from the base of the scrum, this wine is direct, robust, and absolutely uncompromising. It doesn't believe in sidesteps or fancy footwork. It runs straight at the palate and bounces defenders off left, right, and centre. Now moving to the back line, to the half-back, scrum half, Kobus Reinach. His dad, of course, was a sprinter and a Springbok winger. And the son, well, he's lightning in a bottle. He spots a gap and he's away like a scalded cat. He's undeniably the raw wine's Grenache, both a vibrant, zesty, and incredibly quick to please. And then moving to fly half. And if you haven't heard about this lad, you must have been lost in the Karoo or the Kerry Highlands for the past year. It's Sasha Feinberg and Gomotsulu. For the young conductor, the man with the golden boots, we simply had to choose the Alhide Vineyards cartology. And why, you might ask? Well, cartology is the study of maps and charts, and goodness gracious me, does this lad know how to navigate a rugby field. He reads the game like a seasoned explorer, and no doubt he'll be finding gaps in the Irish defensive line that aren't even on the GPS. And now we move to the midfield. At inside centre, Damien de Alendi. He's the man who runs as if he's late for a wedding and the church is uphill. Logically, we've paired him with the Babylon Stura Nebuchadnezzar. And why? Well, first of all, try saying Nebuchadnezzar after you've been tackled by Damien. You won't have enough breath left in your body. This wine is named after a Babylonian king, and quite frankly, Damien rules the midfield with the same iron fist. And on to outside centre, the man who appears to have been carved out of granite by a very patient sculptor, Jesse Creel, at number 13. We have paired Jesse with the Thai-Bush Crescendo. Why? Well, the word crescendo implies a gradual increase in intensity, and goodness gracious me, this is exactly what Jesse does to the opposition. He starts by tackling them hard, and by the 80th minute, he's tackling them so hard their ancestors can feel it. At the outside backs, on the left wing, now for the pocket rocket, the man who can sidestep you in a phone booth without touching the sides. We have paired Cheslin Kolbe and the Cederberg Sauvignon Blanc. Why? Well, because this wine is produced at the highest altitude vineyards in the Cape, and frankly, nobody gets higher into the air to catch a Gary Owen than young Cheslin. Much like the man himself, this wine is electric, explosive, and full of zip. And onto the right wing, we encounter the young gazelle, Kanan Moody, the man who is so tall he has to duck to get under the crossbar. We've paired him with the Moya Meeker Pinot Noir. Why? Because this wine comes from the cool climate of Elgin. And goodness me, this lad is cooler than a polar bear's toenails under the highball. He rises like a salmon to pluck the ball from the clouds, and he does it with such effortless grace. Much like Kanan, this Pinot Noir is silky, long-limbed, and elegant. And finally, the man at the back, the maestro himself, the man who plays rugby as if he's wearing slippers on a Sunday morning, Damien Willemsen. We have paired him with the Stone Wines Ridge Pinot Noir. Why? Because this wine comes from Hemel and Arda Valley, which means heaven and earth. And goodness gracious me, Damien moves heaven and earth to keep the ball in play. This is a cool climate wine, and quite frankly, you won't find a cooler customer in the Northern Hemisphere. He catches the high ball with snow on it, and he doesn't even blink. And now, look who's waiting in the wings, the bomb squad. There's enough firepower here to sink a battleship. First up, Johan Grobbelaar. And now, he is the man with the neck thicker than a wine barrel. We have paired him with the Hartenberg's Mackenzie. Why? Because this is a flagship Bordeaux-style blend, and goodness me, it is built on a massive structure. Like the man himself, this wine has broad shoulders, a deep chest, and a low centre of gravity. It digs its heels in and refuses to be budged. Next up, Gerard Steenekamp. Now, here comes the man who looks like he could scrummage against a tractor and win. And we have paired him with the Passerine Union. Why? Well, the clue's in the name. This wine's all about the union, the binding together of the tight five. Just like Steenekamp binds onto his hooker with a grip like a vice, this Rhone-style blend binds Syrah, Carignan and Mourvedre into a darker, heavier force of nature. And now make way for the scrum doctor, the man with thighs like tree trunks and a neck that simply doesn't exist. Wilco Lowe. We have paired him with the absolute icon, the Mirrorless Rubicon. And why? Because the Rubicon is the foundation of the South African wine industry, just as Wilco is the foundation upon which the entire scrum is built. You cannot move him, and goodness knows you cannot challenge the reputation of this wine. And now, next we must rise for the 50-cap giant, the man they call the Viking, the Giraffe, Erche Sneeman. We have paired him with the legendary Saudi family Mevrouw Kirsten. And why? Because this wine comes from the oldest Chenin Blanc vineyard in South Africa, a true national monument. And frankly, when Erche stands at full height in the line-out, he looks like a national monument himself, visible from space and casting a shadow over most of Dublin. Just like Erche, this wine is a towering presence. It is huge, it is textured, and it possesses a magical ability to do things it shouldn't be able to do. It has layers of complexity that unfold like one of Erche's impossible back-of-the-hand basketball offloads in heavy traffic. And goodness gracious, hold on to your hats. Here comes the man who can accelerate away like he owed somebody money. Probably the greatest player off the bench in world rugby, and it's Kwagga Smith. We have paired him with the Royal Wines White Blend. Why? Because this wine is absolutely electric. It's a blend much like Kwagga. It's a blend of a flanker, a winger, and a terrier chasing a rat up a drainpipe. Oh, I need to take a breath as we move on to Andre. Andre the Giant next up. He is truly the agent of chaos. He can play in the pack and he can play in the backline, but whatever happens, a colossal collision awaits. He is the punchy Demers Fontaine Carpe Diem Reserve Pinotage. They are both dominant, structured, and the embodiment of big South African energy. And quickly, I might add is the appropriate word, we move on to Grant Williams. Speed, yes, that's it. Pure, unadulterated speed. He is the high-tempo prince of scrum halves. He can take off quicker than a politician from a tough question. For Grant, we pair you with the Iona one-man band. Both player and wine are fiercely individualistic, talented, and you know at times they can carry the whole show on their own. And finally, yes, the visionary, Manie Libbok. He can put the ball in a sixpence, and in open play, he's as cunning as a bag of weasels. He's the creative world-class player with depth and skillful poise. It's a bit like Stonewine's Freda Chardonnay. Why? Well, Freda implies peace, but goodness gracious me, Manie whips up a storm every time he touches the ball. He's got the vision of a hawk and hands softer than a whisper in a library. This Chardonnay is known for its precision and creativity. It's not a heavy plodding wine, it's light, it's nimble, and it zips around the palate with a no-look finish that catches you completely by surprise. And there you have it. The whistle will blow soon enough on Saturday evening. It's going to be a cracker of a game for sure. So gather together, grab your glasses, take your seat, and let the battle commence.